children, how are you doing? I hope you all are fine. So let's start the new topic, water for all. So before starting the chapter, बच्चों, let's have a look in inside. Sources of water, water for irrigation, properties of water, measurement of water. So बच्चों, today we are going to learn about all these topics. ठीक है, आज हम इन सब के बारे में जानने वाले हैं कि वाटर के सोर्सेस क्या क्या हैं, हम वाटर इरिगेशन के लिए कैसे यूज़ करते हैं, प्रॉपर्टीज़ क्या हैं वाटर की और मेजरमेंट ऑफ वाटर. सो आर यू पीपल रेडी टू स्टार्ट द चैप्टर? लेट्स स्टार्ट बच्चों विद वार्म अप एक्सरसाइज. Soumya was playing with her friends in her garden and they were playing with water and left the tap running. After some time, all taps ran dry and there was no water at her home. Her mom scolded her for this. How this would affect various day-to-day activities at Soumya's home. What do we learn from this? So जैसा कि आप जानते हैं, सौम्या ने क्या किया? सौम्या ने ऐसा काम किया जो उनके लिए बहुत ही मुश्किलों को पैदा करने वाला था, है ना. सौम्या ने टैप को खुला छोड़ दिया. टैप खुला छोड़ने से सारा पानी बह गया और पानी बहने से उनके घर में पानी नहीं बचा. तो बहुत सारे काम करने होते हैं ना दिन में पानी से, बिकॉज वाटर इज एसेंशियल फॉर लिविंग. यस, तो उन कामों को सब काम रुक गए उसके घर पे. तो आप बताइए कि हाउ दिस वुड अफेक्ट वेरियस डे टू डे एक्टिविटीज एट सौम्यास होम. एंड आपने क्या सीखा इससे? Okay, now let's start. More than 70% of Earth's surface is covered with water. Mostly in seas and oceans, it cannot be used for drinking or irrigating the fields. Only 3% is fresh water, in which 2% is frozen in form of snow and glaciers. So only 1% is usable. That's why water is considered to be precious. तो आज पता चला कि पानी इतना कीमती क्यों है. बेटा, पानी बहुत है हमारी धरती पर, लेकिन जो पानी हमारे पीने योग्य है वो पानी बहुत कम है. ओनली 3%, जिसमें से 2% तो फ्रोजन फॉर्म में है और बचा 1% जो हम पी सकते हैं. तो इसीलिए पानी की एक एक बूंद कीमती है बच्चों. सोर्सेस ऑफ वाटर. देयर आर मेनी सोर्सेस ऑफ वाटर लाइक रेन, रिवर्स, लेक्स, पॉन्ड्स एंड वेल्स. Some water flows on the surface while the rest seeps underground. अब जब बारिश आती है तो क्या होता है, जो बारिश का पानी है वो नदियों में, लेक्स में, पॉन्ड्स में इकट्ठा होता जाता है, राइट. और ये जो बाकी कुछ पानी जो है वो बहकर जो सरफेस है हमारे उसके अंदर रिसता रहता है, उसे बोलते हैं अंडरग्राउंड वाटर. अर्लियर सोर्सेस ऑफ वाटर. Life was not comfortable earlier. In most of the places, people in smaller towns and villages had to travel some distance to fetch water for their daily use. Some sources are. So इतना आसान जीवन नहीं था बच्चों पहले के लोगों को बहुत दूर दूर जाना पड़ता था पानी लाने के लिए. अभी तो आपके घर पर टैप खोलो तो पानी आ जाता है ना, बट पहले ऐसा नहीं था बच्चों. पहले जो सोर्सेस थे इसके वो थे अंडरग्राउंड वेल्स एंड बॉलिस. तो सम वेल्स वर कंस्ट्रक्टेड विथ स्टेप्स विच गो डाउन टू द लेवल ऑफ वाटर. दीज आर कोल्ड स्टेप वेल्स और बॉलिस. The step wells were also used by people as a cool resting place during hot summers, and some of the larger bowls also have separate bathing and swimming areas. So bowls have been in use of many centuries, used by travelers as well as for daily needs. So bowls or step wells are not much in use these days, but some are being revived to maintain the level of groundwater. Some famous bowls are Agrasen ki Bauli, Delhi, and Chand Bauli, Rajasthan. Talabs, Johar, Kunds and Tobas. So the rainwater got collected in talabs, kunds and tobas during rainy season. This water was then used for different purposes except for human consumption. Pios in India, serving water to a thirsty person is considered as a पियाउस you know, आजकल पियाऊ जो बने होते हैं बेटा, जहाँ पर रोड पर या गली की साइड पर बना दिए जाते हैं, जहाँ पानी पीने जिसको भी प्यास लगी है वो वहाँ से पानी पी सकता है. Hence पियाउस were arranged. The word पियाउस means offering someone water to drink. पियाउस are free drinking water services points in public places. The Gurdwara Nanak Piau, a historic Gurdwara, is situated on GT Karnal Road in Delhi, and it is said that Guru Nanak Ji often stayed there and offered water to the thirsty passers-by. Know how? Ask your grandparents and find out how they got water in their house when they were of your age. वो दिन भी बहुत अच्छे दिन थे बेटा, उनसे पूछो कैसे उन्हें पानी मिलता था. Now let's have a look on modern sources of water. In modern days, electric pumps are used to pull out underground water or to fill up a tall water tank in housing colonies. From there, water travels through pipes to fill the overhead tank in each house. From these tanks, water flows down the interval water pipes of each house to reach our taps. In some cities, in the hot summer months, water is stored in large covered clay pots that are kept in the shade of trees by the roadside. Despite all facilities, there are also some villages and urban slums where people have to fetch water from wells or hand pumps. They have to stand in long lines and wait for their turn to fill containers with water. So बच्चों, जैसी फैसिलिटी हमारे पास है ना कि हमारे पास पानी घर बैठे पहुंच जाता है, वैसी फैसिलिटी सबके पास नहीं है. क्योंकि समर्स के डेज़ में बेटा जब गर्मी ज़्यादा होती है तो बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग हैं जिन्हें लाइन में खड़े होकर पानी भरना पड़ता है. बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग हैं जो कुएं से पानी खींचते हैं, हैंड पंप से पानी भरते हैं. सो अगर हम पानी बचाते हैं तो वो लोग जिनके पास पानी नहीं पहुंचता, वो लोग भी आराम से पानी का यूज़ कर सकते हैं. Know how? Why should we not leave the water tap open while brushing our teeth? सोचिए. Water for irrigation fields is traditionally taken from wells and carried to the fields, and it is lifted up in several ways. Some farmers manually use a bucket or a bag made of goat skin to lift water from a channel and pour it into the channels dug up for distribution of water. This is called a dekli. And underground water is lifted out from wells by a pulley system, जो कि आपने देखा होगा, एक गोल सा चक्कर सा लगा होता है, पुली बोलते हैं उसे, उसमें रस्सी होती है और उस सिस्टम से पानी बाहर निकाला जाता है. Right? So underground water is lifted out from wells by a pulley system using a rope and a bucket. A pulley is a simple machine with a wheel which is run by a rope and chain or cable. It helps us to pull things up while actually pulling the rope down. So कभी आपने कुआं देखा है बेटा, कुएं से किसी को पानी निकालते हुए देखा है? अगर मौका मिले तो ज़रूर देखिएगा, बहुत अच्छा लगता है और पानी इतना ठंडा और मीठा होता है कि आपको मज़ा आ जाएगा. Irrigation for terrace farming, flow of water. Naturally, the flow of water is from higher level to a lower level. It flows and settles at the lowest level to form rivers, lakes and oceans. क्योंकि जब ऊपर से पानी बह के आता है तो इन्हीं में जाके मिल जाता है. This helps farmers to irrigate their fields, and in the mountains, molten snow or spring waters are channeled down the slope to reach the fields. Some farmers cut steps called terraces in the mountain slopes that the water flows from one step to the other, gradually watering the fields that lie on the steps. And irrigation for different crops. Now, different crops have different requirement of water. हर फसल के लिए अलग अलग पानी चाहिए, किसी फसल के लिए कम मात्रा में पानी चाहिए और किसी फसल के लिए ज़्यादा मात्रा में. Millets need very little amount of water. Wheat needs a moderate amount of water. तो दोनों में देखा कितना डिफरेंस है. However, rice, maize, sugarcane and jute need plenty of water. This supply of water has to be regulated, and it is best done by irrigation or the artificial supply of water to fields as and when a farmer needs to water the fields. This is done by canals, wells and tubewells. ये इन्हीं की हेल्प से पूरा होता है बच्चों ये काम. ट्यूबवेल्स की हेल्प ली जाती है, वेल्स कुओं की हेल्प ली जाती है, canals की हेल्प ली जाती है. Tea bushes need a constant flow of water that does not settle at their roots but keeps them constantly moist. तो इन्हें moisture की ज़रूरत होती है हमेशा. That is why they are planted on a slope that gets enough rainfall. Cotton also needs enough rainfall in the growing season, but at harvest time the fields should be dry and sky should be clear. तो ये दो कंडीशंस हैं बेटा. जब हार्वेस्ट का टाइम आता है तो खेत सूखा होना चाहिए और आकाश साफ होना चाहिए. चेक पॉइंट बच्चों. Reduce, reuse and recycle is the main mantra to conserve water. Divide your section in 4 groups. Prepare a chart about how you can use water judiciously at your homes and school. Make a PowerPoint presentation and depicts reducing water uses, reducing and reusing and recycling used water. Share your presentation in the class, right? Okay, now let's have a look on properties of water. Water is a colorless liquid. It has no fixed shape of its own and takes the shape of the container. It has the following properties. जैसे आपको पता है पानी का ना तो कलर होता है ना कोई शेप होती है, जिस बर्तन में डालोगे वैसा ही ढल जाएगा. So flotation and sinking property of water. Let's have a look on this. We have observed that certain objects when dropped in water sink to its bottom, while there are others which float on its surface although they are of same size. This is due to the difference in their density. The density of water is 1 kilogram per liter. Okay, so it means that a volume of 1 liter of water weighs 1 kilogram. Objects which are denser than water will sink in it, while those which are less dense than water will float in it. For instance, the density of cotton and paper is less than 1 kg per liter, hence they will float in water. All the oceans and seas have salty water, but the saltiest of all is Dead Sea. Interestingly, even if a person who does not know how to swim, he or she would not drown in this sea but float in water as if lying down on it. Right? Now we have solvent property of water. Take a glass of water and put 1 tablespoon into it. Stir it with spoon. You will observe that salt will disappear. This happens because water has the ability to dissolve or mix many substances in it. This is why it is called universal solvent. Once things are dissolved in water, they form a solution, and which is a mixture of 2 or more things. For instance, when you mix salt with water, you get a salt solution that tastes like salty water. Besides these, gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide also dissolve readily in water. Many plants and animals can live in water because of the dissolved oxygen. But there are also some liquids which do not dissolve in water, like oil, sand, gravel and wood. They don't dissolve in water. This is why certain paints are oil based, so they do not get washed off during the rains. क्योंकि जितना भी इनके ऊपर पानी पड़ जाए, ये आप बोलते हो ना बाहर का एरिया ऐसे पेंट से करवाइए तो उसके ऊपर पानी का भी असर नहीं होगा, तो ये इसी वजह से बोलते हैं बेटा. मेजरमेंट ऑफ वाटर. All liquids including water, oil, milk and juices can be measured by volume in liters. Volume of any solid, liquid or gas is the measure of the amount of space they occupied. When you buy pulses or potatoes, you buy them according to the volume or according to the weight, that is in grams or kilograms. Yes बच्चा, liquids are bought according to the space they occupy. Yes, जो हमारा, क्योंकि वो जिस भी शेप में हो उसी शेप में ढल जाते हैं ना, तो उसके अकॉर्डिंग ही उनके जो भी लिक्विड है वो अपने लाइक जितना स्पेस है, जैसे 1 लीटर अगर हमें मिल्क लेना है तो हमें 1 लीटर का ही बर्तन चाहिए, राइट? नो हाउ? Take a glass filled with some water, drop a lemon into this glass. Now keep adding salt into water and continuously dissolve it. Does the lemon start floating in the salty water? Give reasons. Okay bachcho, now it's your turn. Do the exercises. Tick the correct option by choosing the correct option. Fill in the blanks with suitable word. One word is missing here. क्या करेंगे? जाएंगे चैप्टर में, check the statement. Get the correct word. Write T for true and F for false. तो आपको कुछ statements गलत भी दी गई है यहाँ पर, चेक करिए उन्हें. Write F for that, otherwise T. Answer the following questions. ये questions आपके चैप्टर से निकाले गए हैं और इनके आंसर्स भी चैप्टर में छिपे हैं. Go and get the answers and write in notebook. Learn to this. Look at the picture. What is happening in it? Group the following objects accordingly. Beyond the zone, all living things need water to survive for drinking or cleaning. Water makes up more than half of our body weight. In India, water is considered a holy drink. We have learned that in ancient days, people worshipped water. Even today, many rivers of our country are worshipped. पता है ना, नदियों को भी पूजा जाता है. Yes, तो इन क्वेश्चंस का आंसर करिए. Skill power, brainstorming. Why is Earth often called as the blue planet? Why does a spread out aluminium foil float in water, but a ball of aluminium foil sink in water? Think about. Glowing mind. Why should we not waste water? And what is the importance of water in our life? Can we live without water? Discuss. Activity बच्चों, make a poster which lists the different properties of water and illustrate each property with a diagram or a picture and share your poster in class and have fun. Enjoy बच्चों.